Camera 1. There, it's working. Camera 2. It's ready to go. Hi, John here. It's Monday, 26th of May 2040. Quick update on where we're at with the Moai federal state government. We're running online on Facebook, Twitter, Google and YouTube. I put a picture on Facebook last night, and if you look very closely at it, it's a court, an Admiralty court martial setting that I'm doing, camera 1, camera 2, online in front of the whole world. It's a full case of offences that are happening here in New Zealand from 2009, before the Lisbon Treaty was signed by the Queen and Gordon Brown. I've recorded it all the way through, right till now, on events that have taken place in 2009, including the 61 Cook Street land transaction that's fraught with corruption and fraud in the middle of it, involving the government of New Zealand, the Attorney General, Chris Finlayson, the Land Information, LINZ, Robert Meir, Land Register General, the Land Survey General, Robert Andrell, and then you've got real estate, David and John Bailey, conducting the sale and purchase agreement with Hornibrook and McDonald's. Mark Hornibrook and Andrew McDonald, lawyers, conveyancers on these titles. Now there's a number of things happening here of illegal sale and purchase agreement. I've been in real estate before, in 1996, in Remuera, Auckland and Epsom. They are the more or less the top end of the real estate market, and I've watched how, I've learned how they sell property. Being native myself, of Tahitian, Rarotongan, Irish and a bit of Scotty origins, on the Cosgrove side of the family. They are East Coast, in Te Araroa, Ruatoria, and also they're the lawyers family, okay? That's where all this stuff is coming out. And the Rogans, they're the land surveyors in Gisborne, in the Maryland Court, and also in Kaipara, in Auckland. All those titles, the Rogans married the Manukau family and the Wanoa family. You see, that's why I'm like I am. And Jamie Patrick Stewart, Ngātai, is a product of this sort of legal field we're in. That's why we've got all these pictures on Facebook and Twitter, Google and YouTube. They're not there just for show, like a lot of people think. They're there because they're fact, and we're proving where the fraud is, who's caused it, how, abuse of law, and justice, injustice, all of that wrapped up in land transactions and also in law, breaking the law, and the politicians themselves. You'll find that everybody that's named in these indictments and and lien warrants. They're commercial liens under the Admiralty of King William IV. You'll see there on the picture, I'll just explain a little bit here of what we're going to do with the case today, from today, and we've got our pommies working with us on this case. One case at a time, one person at a time. Doug Rickard Bell, you first. You'll see him in the dock box on the right hand side of the picture. You see the door on the courthouse is always on the right hand side when you're looking at the judge. I put myself where the judge sits, the Rolls building, High Court of Admiralty in London. That's that building you can see in the bench that I'm sitting on, sitting right there where the judge is. Okay, they're our partners. The British government and the Navy are our legal, commercial, contract, business partners with King William Admiralty. Okay, so that's a real setup that I'm explaining here to you as we start on the case today. It's the first time since 2009 I gave notice to Baylor's Real Estate, John and David personally, and Barfoot and Thompson Real Estate. There's 3 properties of my daughter there, Remera and Papatoitai, that are 3 properties there, and the one on Cook Street, out of all the properties that I've got listed. And those responsible are named. Your photo is there, and you failed in all this time right till now to refute the affidavits as if they are invisible. Well, from today I let you know that one of the Poms, Paul, he's very good at land transactions and titles. So he's been doing the East Cape in that region down there, Gisborne, land titles, showing people how they work. So he's working with us to investigate the titles. He's the marshal, okay? He's a court marshal in the Moai federal state courts. Okay, we have the legal right to speak for the king, like the king, for the king. The king's bench, right, from that bench, and you'll see King William there on the left with his flag that he gave us, the 1835 Declaration of Independence flag. So his period of monarchy, sovereignty, was from 1830 to 1837. Okay, so 1837 he legislated the Act of the Bank of England. You'll see Bank of England there. William Patterson created the Bank of England, and King William the Third, on the right hand side you'll see King William there, Third, legislated the Act of Parliament with his wife Mary there. They were both sharing the monarchy reign, okay, King and Queen, in 1694. Okay, 1694, the Bank of England. We're using that authority and jurisdiction in the commercial lien indictment notices, banking and land transactions in mortgages under the Admiralty law of King William IV. Okay, King William IV put it into commercial contract. Okay, all the contracts under the Rothschild banks comes into this era of someone as the creditor, more or less the exchequer, You'll see me there, okay? I'm acting as a creditor, okay? Whatever. And Jamie's sitting in front of me. She's my secretary, and she's the registrar. Okay, she has the power of a judge in our court. Okay, in our court, under our kings that we're speaking for. I'm speaking for the King of England. Okay, and also we have King Foley, Thomas Foley. Around the time of King Edward III, we've got the real king in waiting, Geoffrey Foley. Okay, he's with us. You'll see him on the left-hand side of the Moai federal state jury, court jury, to make decisions. Right, I get my decisions from him and from Sunekora. Right, she's the politician for our Moai hapu at the East Coast. Right, she's very learned. She's got a degree as a professor on Harvard University. Okay, that's Sunekora, famous for being a prime minister of a Maori government. Okay, so that's her field. Why I'm saying Maori government is because that's the way they perceive it to be at Waitangi. Now, I'll give you a little story here of Maori. The word Maori is a product of the Rothschild banks and Crown, Prosperous Crown Corporation. Okay, Crown invented the word Maori and iwi. The Maori Land Court, the Maori Trust, and Maori everything, and the Tikanga Maori Law Society. Okay, everything is subjected to the government of Wellington under that Maori title. Okay, now we've got Moai Memorial statue standing in London in Queen Elizabeth II Great Court. Okay, Queen Elizabeth, Queen Victoria, stole him off East Island and took him on the Topaz, HMS Navy, to London, England. Now that's theft, right? Well, I'm indicting her and Queen Elizabeth for stealing my ancestors' memorial. Right? They've got their own memorial, Winston Churchill and all that. We don't steal. That's an offence in this court. Right? Anything that's stolen, that we accuse of being stolen, belongs to us. It's in New York. Moai statue standing there. That's our title. That's our organic ancestral inheritance, astronomical, astrological, anthropological, historical, memorial, Tahitian, bloodline, native, customary, title. Okay, that's earth title. He's the face of God. You'll see I've got spirit. Right? God's spirit and Ra Sun. Right? Ra Sun, East Cape, Te Pito. All those titles are on that one document. All the information that you see, camera 2, camera 1, is real title to the Pacific Ring of Fire area that TPP and John Key and Americans, US federal state, is trying to steal off us, the native original customary holders and the tikanga law of God. Okay, so they're running imports that came here on Admiralty law of King William commercially and in legal documents. Okay, you can forget about King James because he didn't have commercial law and banks, okay, and money, paper money, gold money, under a mortgage lien debtors notice that we're using here. We have the authority, the legal, lawful, rightful, inherited title of King William IV, who created the Act of Parliament. You won't find it anywhere in commercial law of any kings before that had the capacity and had the nous and the experience of King William IV, 50 years in the Navy, of Admiralty. He's the real Admiral, not second-hand Vice Admiral or Commander-in-Chief. It's not a chief, more or less a mischief of Abara, calling himself a king on one hand and saying he's a chief of Admiralty. No, he's not. The flag that he has with the gold braid around the edge of his American flag is not accepted in the British government. Okay, British government. It's different to the British Crown. The British Crown is a product of Rothschild banks and the Queen, who are fraudulent at this point in time. The Queen has an arrest warrant on her head, and the Pope, Pope Francis, Julio, Guglio, right, and Patron, Nicholas Patron, Adolfo Nicholas Patron, the Black Pope, is in trouble. The whole Catholic Church, the Church of England, is in tatters, okay, because of the fraud and the corruption of them and the Crown system of Admiralty that they've been using and abusing the power that we have of the King. You'll see the seals of King William IV there on his horse and his Admiralty. Right? He started in the Navy at 13. Right? I'm speaking for him. I have the right to speak for him on these lands in New Zealand over John Key and his trade talks with those countries who are trying to steal the resources out of the sea. You're going to find yourself in front of this court, in front of everybody, your name singled out, not a whole bunch of people hiding behind a crown with capital letters. Okay? Where I just want to let you know, the people who are watching us, that we are acting the same as them, as corporation. We're using capital letters, but we're using the truth. Our word against any single person that has nothing to do with anybody else, just the one I'm accusing. So every single person in the box, you'll see the red box there, with all the things around the one guy, Douglas Rickard Bell, accused, okay? And so his misfortune, he'll lose if he does not answer this time. It's been around for a long time, and everybody's known. Now, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, including the Queen, indicted. And you'll see a policeman, Aaron Pascoe. He led the Tuhoi raids, the Tuhoi raids under a federal state system. See, they're not telling you, citizens here in New Zealand, they're not telling you the truth about who they are, operating business in government as a foreign state country under Queen Elizabeth II Great Court, okay, and Queen Elizabeth II Supreme Governor of Church of England, still the church. The church is getting ripped to bits by Kevin Annett and the Canadian Indian Cree people doing a good job of bringing the fraud and corruption out. We're coming from the legal angle, Jamie and I, and Graham Elliott, he's the ex-UK detective sergeant working with us. Okay, so he's been going to Samoa with me. We've got business to do there, and from Australia. We won't talk about that at the present time because it's quite big. But we're using our authority of the Admiralty, of Jeff Foley in Australia. Okay, so you'll see him in the photo on the left in the jury. Right? He has the capacity here and the authority with me that speak as a king. Okay, he is a king on our documents. We are dressing him to go and take over from Queen Elizabeth, the fraud, corrupted monarchy family. The whole 300 royal families are going out because they have corrupted the law of Britain between us in contract, the Moai Hapu natives here in New Zealand and the Pacific Islands. We're here with Jeff to correct the monarchy. I'm acting here as the native monarch of Tahiti, from the East Cape, Te Pito, birth of New Zealand, to Te Pito, birth of the world on East Island, Rapa Nui, to Mokanui. Those names are titles. Everything you see on Moai's websites are titles. They're real titles. They're not made up. They're real. And you have to prove who you are as one-on-one. You and me, or me and someone else. Right? It's me. Next one will be John Key. Okay? So John Key is not doing anything about his name being bandied around in a box, wanted. He is wanted because he's committed crimes that he's not telling you that there's a federal state government operating here on top of the government here in Wellington. Have you know now we have a federal state government operating here online, right in front of you, and with a setting of the Rolls Building, High Court of Admiralty and Justice in London, Judge Mackey. Okay, so they have our documents. This is real, people. They have our documents. They are obliged to us natives here in the Pacific. I'm speaking here for the whole Pacific, right? And Jeff is speaking for the whole Pacific as a king. He is a king on the Foley line to Thomas Foley, right, in the 1300s. And so that links him back. But I'm here for King William III and the Bank of England. Okay, and the Bradbury Bank, they want their pound note back. Go for it. We've got our pound note. You'll see Jamie in the watermark, and you'll see she's on the domestic note, pound note, and you'll see Desmond Wanoa on the one on the left. He's on the international pound note. On our currency, on the water money, right? Not gold, water money. Okay, so we're putting up the tidal energy project on the rocket field that we're going to be producing with H-Bank in Taiwan. Bayberton, okay, that's the owner there. We've got a pending contract with him. Bayberton, that's his name. So that's in place. Everything I've done over the last 12 years of planning is all over Facebook and Twitter. So we'll be using the media more often now with the shares that are going out in 250 countries. So we're taking the kings, King William, King III and IV, and Queen Mary, and King Geoffrey Foley, right through the world, in the 250 countries to trade under the flag of King William IV. The 1835 Declaration of Independence, sovereign nation state is this country here in New Zealand. Out here, real. Okay, that's a real flag, people. And John Key, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, is getting rid of the Union Jack flag that had no power in the first place. Right? There's only a Navy flag on the sea. The 1835 Declaration of Independence flag, that's the one you see with the four corners, Ngā hau e wha, or Ngā atua e wā, Aotea, is more jurisdiction and constitution of 1852 UK law in that flag with us, the natives. Okay, that's a contract. That flag is the only, say it again, only commercial lien mortgage bank trading flag of commerce in the world. The only flag given by a king of England. Okay? Just to let you know, we mean business when it comes to this online High Court of Admiralty, run by the people, for the people, not by a bunch of pedophiles, psychopaths, lawyers, judges and politicians. As you'll see, we're going to pull them out one by one and try them in front of the whole world. Over 1 billion people. Now, all we ask of you, the people watching this in real player, is to like it and push the like button. That means you agree that we are conducting justice the way justice should be, by the people, for the people. Just have you know that whatever we salvage under the Salvage Laws Act of Admiralty, that all the spoils of bounty booty that they've stolen as pirates will be recovered using the police. Right? We don't have to go and invent another police force. They're there for us. Okay, we're going to use them under our authority of kings. Right? And so all that money and property, land, resources, birth certificates, licenses, legal documents, laws, acts, all of that is returned to the people, the members who join us in the 250 countries around the world. You'll have the same rights as I have. Right? So I'm here for God and God's law, L-O-R-E, and also L-A-W, speaking for the King of England. Okay, not the Queen. The Queen has corrupted the King. King's Bench, I'm speaking from the King's Bench, where I'm sitting in that photo. Right, so there's a lot of information gone into it. You'll see Dean Murray, okay? He's the guy there with a warrant in his hand. That's what he already gave the Lynch in Hamilton. They're the ones that corrupted the title. Okay, Robert Meir, you're in trouble. You'll be named as for trial in the box where Doug Ricard Bell, he's in the box at the moment. Friday, this Friday, be all over. Okay, so we're going to the police today or tomorrow, and to tell them he's on trial first up. And if he doesn't respond after Paul goes and issues him notice, if he doesn't reply, then we go back to the police on Friday and tell them the guy didn't reply. He has never and he hasn't. Okay, so the police are obliged to treat it as fraud this time. Okay, I haven't done anything about anything right till now until we've got everything in place. We've got an economy in place, we've got people in place that I can trust. Okay, all trust in this, because one shot There's no adjourned hearings. The jury is there, it's just a phone call. Everything is digital. Okay? Everything that we do is electronic. The money systems in the mobile phone systems, take pay. And another one we're going along with, we're just trying it out at the moment, with you'll see, we're going to be operating the bank, the system where we recover the money, goes into the bank electronically to the members. Anywhere in the world, under a rock, under a tree, or what. The mobile phone is their point of contact with us. They can deposit straight into the account straight away in a flash. And we get voting, one vote, one person, and one share. And so that's how it is. It's very quick, very clean, and exact. Police, you'll see Aaron Pascoe, he is a third party to me and Doug Rickard-Bell. He interfered by saying, no, I couldn't go on and issue new tenancy agreements to the tenants on 61 Cook Street. That's what I was going to do, because I have a right to go straight in there. I'm not breaking any laws here. We've got our own law, higher than theirs. They have to prove to us where their jurisdiction supersedes. The jurisdiction you see there on that page is loaded. Okay, it's loaded. It's got enough to sink them all, and one-on-one. Right? We're not going to take the whole Parliament on. You'll see the Parliament there. On the left, 121 ministers, politicians. They're all on trial in the box on the right-hand side, one at a time. Doesn't matter if they retired or ran away, like Shane Jones. You're going in the box, Shane Jones. Right? You're a pirate. I'm accusing you of being pirate. You're going into the fisheries. We're going to go into the fisheries and strip them. Right? We're going right through to pull out all the fraud, corrupted people, and take everything off them and give it back to the people. Okay? That's where we have the right. This is our own country. Right? And the surname, Wanoa, is a product of this country, right back to Tahiti. Okay? It's there in solid earth. Right? It's got its originals. Now, if you've got anything better with Jones, you better go and check England, because the Jones name here is on trial. Right? Your name is in that box on the left-hand side, waiting trial. One by one. You, me. One, me, you. My word against yours. Shane Jones, Dover Samuels, you cheeky fellas down in Parliament when I went there on the fisheries deal. Right? Foreshore and seabed. Helen Clark. I'm not angry. I'm just saying, you people violated the hapu. Okay? The hapu is the owner of these lands in their native custom. Title, right? We go back. You might have titles, but there's titles on top of each other. Okay? And 61 Cook Street, just to let you know that I registered a caveat, a lien, on that property. You'll see all the documents are going on this one site so that I can define the case, put everything there. It's all over the internet anyway, of that case of Doug Rickard-Bell and all the other people that I've named for trial. Okay, it's real now, from today. And since that notice is going out as a court, from now we are operating a full-blown High Court of Admiralty under our system of federal state government. Okay, I'm running a federal state government here with a number of potential people who have the experience, right, to run a government better than what they're doing in Wellington, right? Guessing and wasting money. Okay, they waste money on things for themselves and their business. Right? They're looking after their business. We're after their business. We've indicted the whole lot of them and the World Bank. 1141, 900 million trillion. Okay, the OPPT foreclosed on them. We foreclosed on the OPPT. Right? If they can't show us anything higher than that, what you see on that one page, if they can't show any evidence of a king who got them on that land in the first place. Everybody in the world who's using banks and mortgages got there on that title with King William IV. There is no other king, I repeat, there is no other king in the world that did that in the commercial lien, mortgage, conveyancing, titles. They're only conveyancing instruments. If you commit crimes, we can take it off you. We are going to remove it off you and give the money back to the shareholders, the members in the Moai tidal energy banking system. Okay, we've got our own Moai Royal Bank ready for the money to go in. Okay, all electronic. We've got to operate from London and Scotland. You'll see we're pushing the Scottish government to go independent and as sovereign of their own. It'll break the UK fraud, corrupted governments in Westminster in pieces. Now, this is going to show who has corrupted the whole of the world in the banking field. Here, the banks will be on trial now, right, because of what's happened with the WINs and the birth certificates, fractional banking. You're in it now in this court because we have the power, the mana and the authority, jurisdiction to conduct court hearings the way we want in front of the whole world and the people joining us. Okay, we've got over 2,200 people following us on Facebook. You see, that's people who believe that we are on the right track. They're the ones who will suggest otherwise than ignorance. Okay, other people who are ignorant are going to cost you big time when someone knocks on your door. It'll be a sheriff, right, or a marshal coming after you. Okay, so the government in Wellington has got their own sheriffs or their own debt collectors. We've got a management, debt management. That's what Jamie is. She's learning pretty fast how real estate works, how politics works, how the legal system works, how justice works, and so I'm helping her so she can help somebody else do the same thing. We had a few fallouts with people who weren't up to it and can't be trusted, right? You have to be very well trusted in this game. Only that will make it work. If you've got tendencies to be fraudulent, then that won't work. Okay, we're straight up, and everything that's being done is in the open. So that picture means it has all the information there. Just be on the website, Moai Powerhouse, moaipowerhouse.com, M-O-A-I, power, P-O-W-E-R, house, H-O-U-S-E, .com. So that's our website where you'll see 315 pages going in today. I'll load it up and I'll put it on this new my federal state court. It'll be just on its own, so you'll see all the economy there for the people in the world, the same plan, getting cold now, same plan shared amongst all races. Right? We've got a few people in other countries like Hungary, that Desmond has some friends there. You're waiting and watching this video. You'll pick up how the court system works, join, which you'll share and watch it grow. Our product in that share is solid metal hydrogen fuel, rocket fuel, and also jet fuel, liquid hydrogen. Right, we've got power projects operating at the moment on design plan, and big hover foil ships that I've designed. Be coming out soon, but I'll probably put that on let you see at some stage. But we're going through the legal process with it at the moment. We're aiming to carry at least 5,000 to 10,000 people on one of the big ones. We're doing one that'll carry 400 people at the moment. And fast. It'll cruise 120 knots to 200 knots. Just like that on this field. Okay, so we've got a number of things happening on the east coast. Bottom Point with the motel. I'm going to take that over. I'm going to take all the land around there back into our title. And the LINZ, Land Information, has to compensate all those people, Robert Meal, and also the lawyers who did the conveyancing titles. They have to pay them whatever they want. Okay, just a message to you owners on the Bottom Point Motel: do not sell that property. The people buying it, do not buy it because it'll get taken off you. Okay, it's a bad title, just like 61 Cook Street. Bad title, right? I've been in real estate. I should know. I won't say it otherwise. The title is under investigation. They investigated our native title. Now we're investigating their Land Information New Zealand title and Crown titles. Right? Two different titles. Crown title straight from Britain is this one here on Cook Street. Right? They've corrupted it and forged the titles. Right? And they failed to register our interest on that title. Now, Graham Elliott, the private investigator, knows, right? We've discussed this, that they are supposed to have put the Manukau name and the Wanoa name and the Parapara name and the Kawharu name. Those are original surnames of these lands, for goodness sake. We are the original owners in a commercial sense of mortgage liens on these properties, right? In a customary sense, there's no such thing as ownership. In a commercial sense, under King William IV, in commercial lien contracts, yes, we are owners of these lands in the first place. They did not buy the land off us, right? The British agents of the Crown corporations, Rothschild banks, Queen Elizabeth, and the popes and the churches never bought the land off us, off the Wanoa, the Kawharu, the Parapara, or the Manukau. They bought it off others. Okay? You look at the titles. I wanted to put our names on 61 Cook Street before they sold it. They rejected the title after I paid for it. Right? And the documents are there. You'll see them. Now, we're going to seize the land back because of the fraud title and the transfer and lock those people up. Okay? Everyone we name that goes on the box on the right hand side gets locked or hung, right? Or electrocuted. That's the law of Admiralty. We can express the law the way we want. Just as well, Jeff Foley, the new king, doesn't like hanging. Right? He doesn't like electrocution. But we do. We will if you lie. That's it. That's how tough the law was back in pirate days when they came here. All those white people, white-skinned, blue-eyed people who came here, used that law for piracy to protect from other pirates, white ones. Okay? It wasn't made for black people. It was made for white people, like the Maori Land Court. That was made by white people for white people. Nothing against white people. I'm just saying, they're the ones that are doing all the damage on our land. These are our lands, right? I'm saying we own these lands on these bank trading agreements with Britain, right? The British government are our legal partners. That's why we've got them there on our site, right? Their court bench. That's our bench here, right? They've got our timber over there, all our karis and all our tautara timbers, remus, over there as benches, right? We're going to make our own bench, right, out of rocks. So have a look at what we're going to do this week. There's a lot of work for just me and Jamie to put all this legal stuff together. She has to learn very fast. Only in what, 8 months? How to be a exchequer, debt manager officer, DMO. That's a title. DMO. Okay, just like that. Now anyone can be a lawyer in this federal state, right? If you're honest and you listen and learn, you can be one in a hurry without tickets or titles. Just so long as you know what to do and repeat it over and over. If you do a mistake enough times, you'll succeed in making lots of mistakes like they do in Wellington Parliament. Okay? They make lots of mistakes. It costs a lot of money. Now the earthquakes. Okay? All the money goes to the white men down there. Get them right. Okay, that's about to change. Okay, so I think I've said enough. Just want to commend our crew of people, including those who were with us, are still with us. Brett Kappa and them, and those girls. You just have to stand aside, and it's easier for me to teach one at a time. So I've got enough on my plate with just one, let alone 3 or 4. Right? But I got 2 good poems, 3 good poems, and two more under the bridge. Right? 5 poems. Actually, there's 8 poems altogether that know what's happening here. Okay, so you people that are watching the case happen, take a leaf out of this, and those skeptics who think we're just making pictures for nothing, think again, and decide that what's best for the people is what our aim is to share in the knowledge and share in the spoils of what we're going to recover under the Salvage Act. We're using the land laws of England, and also we're going along with Scottish government. Right, we've got our first tidal energy project in Scotland. We're going to put it up in Pentle and Firth if the government allows us to go ahead. The shares are going to that country first. And the unsold shares, the shares went out on the 30th of April, and they'll expire after 6 months in the 30th of October 2014. Okay, and then we buy back the balance, the Moai Royal Bank buys back the balance, that'll go to New Zealand next. And then more or less probably Russia after that. We'll just decide who comes in. We have Russian investor that our banking guy, the Pommy guy, is going to let me know this week. We'll have another meeting, hopefully this morning, and with Paul, our marshal. Okay, he's responsible to go and see the police, and better coming from a white man than me, because they'll know very harsh, and carrying probably lethal documents with me. Which is a little bit frightening, but don't be frightened of any of these documents, because they are legal, they are correct, and only one shot. You're going to be right or you're going to be wrong, one or the other. You can't say, hang on, I'll go away and think about it. There's no thinking about it. You get notice. Normally we'll give 3 weeks notice for any new cases. All that you see that we've named people over 3,000, over 3,000, because Aaron Pascoe put all the police out when he said, no, it's not a good idea to go on 61 Cook Street. He actually put himself in contract with me. Alright? That's why he's in a box. Because he's took over and spoke over the top of his boss, Peter Marshall, the Commissioner of Police. See, he's gone. You see what happens when they get tough? They go. Okay? They retire. They run. He's not going to get far. He's not going to get far. We're holding him to what happened with Mike Bush is the new Commissioner of Police, responsible for Tuhoi raids, and also with Aaron Pascoe. Those two were responsible. We're holding them liable, like the British government is liable. Okay? They're liable to everything that's gone on here because they left the government here to go rampant. They're still responsible because they have got the Queen with the British government still giving them their sovereignty. Right? We've got our own sovereignty, people. Moai's got his own sovereignty. That's it, what you're looking at on that page. With those seals and chiefs. You'll see the chief there, Kingi Tautua, and Papa Wilimahei. Okay, on the left. Those two chiefs at Waitangi, they're the ones with the contract to Britain. Okay, they don't have to go to Britain. I'm going there with Jamie to sort it out. All they do is sit there and wait. Okay, they don't have to go anywhere. All they have to do is stand the ground on the title where the British came and signed over there. Right, we're investigating the 1840 Treaty of Waitangi, which is a fraud document that all you people here in this country, New Zealand, come under. Right, they've cut themselves off from your legal position here to be on this land. You can't talk. Nobody here in this country, I warn you, do not talk about history of King James or anybody else before 1840, because the government here legally cut you off to Britain. You have no say in Britain. You only go under the Queen on that end in contract with John Key. Right? Contract. No contract with us. Contract with John Key in Wellington. Company to company. Okay? Moai Company, Moai, Ngātua Iwa Aotea Limited is a New Zealand registered company to him over there. That company is billing him and his Queen Elizabeth II Great Court. Okay? And Queen Elizabeth Supreme Governor of the Church of England company here. Elizabeth II. Okay? And Buckingham Palace. Those are private companies. These guys here are running underneath the federal state of something. You don't know yet what that federal state is. We're telling you we're a federal state before they even tell you they're a federal state. Okay, that's why they won't do anything. The government in Australia is a federal state. They're in trouble because they used our Te Ture Whenua 1993 Act, which is Jeff Foley, the Prince Regent of that contract. Te Ture Whenua 1993 Act is a contract with Westminster Parliament. I'm telling you,